Hello and welcome back. We are here to talk about, we're here talking about the Evereo. Again, we're talking about multiple functionalities within. And now we're going to start talking about the overnight regeneration that we can do within the Evereo. So by being able to put in cold product overnight to allow it to have a long pasteurization time and be hot and fresh ready the next morning. Again, from the same way that we talked about with the multi-day mode, being so precise is how we're able to do this, right? So by not having a full swing of temperature, really allows us to be able to get the heat that we need to kill the bacteria to make sure that this is a safe and servable product the next day. Because who doesn't love to be able to reheat product without having to use any labor for it? So as a demonstration today, we've got some soups that we made that we have in cryovac bags, something to simulate a case of soups that would come in that we would thaw out and then maybe put into a pot to bring back to life, or a boil in a bag that we would just drop in a pot of hot water. Similar to that is our mac and cheese here, right? Because we all know boil in bags are a big thing, whether it be mashed potatoes or gravy or mac and cheese, that kind of a thing. And then we also have some pulled pork, some pork that we actually smoked in our combi oven, and then shredded it and put it into an individual portion. So this is a nice 6-ounce portion for a sandwich, or maybe an entree size is doable. But with all of these, what we can do is pull them directly from the refrigerator. We can put them into the Evereo and then set a timer for them to allow them to pasteurize overnight. So we're going to do that, and then we'll check them tomorrow once they're back to their proper temperature, and plate them up and show you exactly what it looks like. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to load our soup in, and then we'll set a program for it. So now that our soup is in, we're going to go ahead and set our program. Because we're doing this for multiple days, we're going to use our multi-day mode again. New program. Now we have a few different options here of what we can set it at. Since this is soup, we're going to go under sauce. I like to use the meat soup version. So now here, this is the most important screen that we have. So this is telling the Evereo what temperature we're putting the product in to the Evereo. So we've got refrigerated, we've got room temperature, and we've got fresh out of the oven. So this is similar to what we used for our lasagna yesterday. Because this is out of the refrigerator, we're going to select that. And now we can see that we have 6 hours of pasteurization time before we start a 3-day timer. So we're going to change our name to soup. And then we're going to hit start. We know that we put this on the 8th tray, so we're going to select the 8th rack. And now we have a yellow tile. With a yellow tile means that it's still in a pasteurization cycle. So that means that it is not ready to be used and not to use it. That yellow is a cautionary color. Right? So after that pasteurization cycle happens, then it'll turn green. That timer for its actual shelf life will start, and then you can use the product however you need. All right, and now for our second piece, we're going to put in our mac and cheese. So again, this is a mac and cheese that we made earlier today. We chilled it down, and then we were able to vacuum seal it. Now in the vacuum seal process for what we did, we have our own multi-day bags that we use that have been tested and made for the longevity that we can use to hold inside the Evereo. Some other bags, while still work, they break down over time because of the temperature that they're holding at. They're not meant to hold for that long, whereas our bags are a little bit thicker to give us the safety of that longevity. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. Again, this is to simulate the product that would be in a boil in a bag, something that we would pull directly out of the refrigerator and pop into a pot of boiling water or regenerate on the stove. For this, our mac and cheese will go in. And then we'll set our program. So we know we're on tray 6, multi-day mode, manual. We're going to come over to pasta and select our mac and cheese program. Again, telling the Evereo what temperature the product is going into it is refrigerated. We have the same temperature to regenerate at 6 hours, and we'll hit start. So now you can see we have 2 regenerating tiles going, and we'll add our 3rd. And for our last example recipe here, we have our pulled pork. Again, this is pork that we smoked in our combi overnight. We've portioned them individually into our smaller multi-day bag, and then cryovac them, chilled and cryovac them. So we have individual portions. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be able to kind of lock in that fresh flavor from a freshly smoked pork butt. I'm going to be able to bring it back to temperature low and slow so that we're not drying it out, we're not losing moisture or texture or any of that organogalactic properties of the food. And we're going to bring it back to temperature so that tomorrow we can serve it as well. So let's put our pork in. And now all we have to do is set our program. So we're on tray 4. We're going again into a multi-day mode because it's going to be multiple days. We're going to go under the white meat category. Now, while we don't have a smoked program here, I like to use the grilled one for this. Again, our starting temperature is from refrigerated. And again, 144 degrees for 6 hours for pasteurization before we're safe to use. So we'll hit start. The Evereo is going to do all the work for us. We're going to go home for the night, and then tomorrow morning we'll check back in on our product. It'll be hot, fresh, ready to go for our service for the day. We'll see you soon. All right, welcome back. So it's the next morning, and we're going to take a look inside our Evereo and grab our product out. Everything, you can see all of our timers have turned green, meaning all of our pasteurization cycles have been effective and everything is back up to temperature. So now we can plate it for service. So we're going to start with our soup. We've got a couple different soups here that we would be able to put up on the line. First one here, this is a minestrone, a little warm. We're just going to cut it into our bag, pour into our serving vessel. Look at that, you can see that nice steam coming off of it there. Throw that in the trash, move you out of the way. And then we can take our little crock here. Look at that nice steaming hot bag of soup. And again, remember, this is regenerated overnight. We didn't have to do anything but put it into the Evereo right before we left for the day. And now it's nice, hot, ready for service. Beautiful. Soup looks good. Give that a touch of a wipe. And then onto the plate and out the door. So next up we have our mac and cheese. Same thing. Hot and ready to go. All we have to do is cut our bag open. Grab our vessel for the line. If I can open the bag here. Go. Again, nice and hot. Put that in the trash. And this is going to actually be for a side dish to go with our pulled pork sandwich. So you can see our mac here, steaming hot. It's nice and creamy. Didn't deteriorate at all. And again, we didn't have to do anything but put the bag in right before we left. There we go. And it's nice and hot. Now, lastly, we have our pulled pork, and we can leave all of our other portions in because we only need one for our sandwich here. And again, we just cut our bag open. We've got a nice toasted bun here, and we can take our pulled pork straight onto the plate, ready for service. You can see that steam coming off it, nice and moist. Succulent, still juicy, hasn't fallen apart, not dried out. Looks great. Put a little barbecue sauce right on top. And there we have a beautiful barbecue sandwich and our soup. And again, we didn't have to heat up anything. We let the Evereo do all the work overnight for us without having to worry about anything happening. So this is just another one of our functionalities that where the Evereo can help you inside your food service establishment, whether it be for a large catering, being able to do this daily in a restaurant or a hospital cafeteria, different things like that. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.